Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to enter the destruction zone. Good afternoon and welcome to episode number 16 of Skytear Sunday. I am the commander reporting in for duty. Joining me on tactical support, my favorite armsman in the entire community, barring none, it is Zaraghul.
Hello there. Thanks for that fantastic intro. Nice to be here. Nice to have you here on board, and nice to be here again for another Skytear Sunday. Today between the King of the Dome, Kalibra himself, and the King of Jones as a challenger. So, we now see our two challengers here, our two combatants. I'm just going to switch over to the to Calibra's King of the Dome streak.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that he didn't lose any of his heroes, but he's forced to use Miyuki, right?
That is correct. Yes, he is on a perfect streak, if you will, in terms of hero life, and Miyuki was the forced selection, or excuse me, not Miyuki, Kumaya.
Sorry, not Miyuki. Yes, Komaya. Yeah.
Close enough. They're both red-yellow. They both have the potential to do a ton of damage in the new game with the breach cards, but nevertheless, we will see what happens here. So, players are loading in, and Zaraghul, it is my kind of day.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a bloody day, I assume.
It is. Oh, yes. As the players, as soon as the switchover shows, we will be able to take a look at today's victory conditions. We have Bloodlust, the Tamer, and Deny Reinforcements, which means the only way you're not winning without violence is by Nexus Destruction. Before the match we started, we did flip the coin. King of Jokes elected to bring his outsider, the original, and Kalibra decided then, instead of going second, he will go first, noting that Kalibra himself was preparing a strategy that would likely benefit from being able to see what King of Jokes has to do first, and that King of Jokes is not bringing anyone with a blue rune, and so Kalibra does not need to worry about a turn 1 presence.
Yeah, that's true. So no absolutely tactical game, more let's see as much blood as possible here.
Do you have that funeral gift locked and loaded? Because I feel like we're going to be needing it several times.
I think it disappeared today, unfortunately. Let me have a look. Okay, it's still there. It's still
good.
in the background.
I was going to be very disappointed.
We might have to use it very often.
Yes. So we see that after the first draft. Now, we might be asking, wait a minute, Miyuki's been misplaced. No, because remember, with the Breach update, Ashen Pass deployment zone has been expanded. Any of the 5 hexes that are kind of in the what we'll call farthest line back for the players are now eligible as spawn points. This was to give melee heroes a little bit more of an advantage and be able to move into attack without having to start in the centerpiece, among other reasons. So deploying Miyuki there for King of Jokes, taking advantage of the 5 spawning points, and Kalibra responding with Ixchatosk, which means that Yami is most likely coming next because it's time for the Ixa Taxi play.
Absolutely. It seems like Kalibra was building his deck around Ixa Taxi. So I'm curious how he is going to use Ixchatosk and Komaya, who he's forced to bring. So who's going to be second hero? This is Hogosai.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. So no Yami Taxi right off the bat, because the first 3 heroes has to include the forced hero. And so that means that Kumaya must be on the choice. So Yami may be coming in 4th, or she may just sit on the bench. I can't say I approve of that tactic, but you know, I have left Yami on the bench a couple times. As long as Yami is present in the lineup, that is acceptable. We'll say.
Yeah, your queen has to be there for sure.
That is correct.
In the team.
She may sometimes she needs to observe from the sidelines and send the peasants in to do her bidding. Sometimes, on the other hand, she grabs the scythe and starts to mow down the people herself.
Absolutely.
So this does make sense to bring in the Hokusai there, as Hokusai is labeled from Kalibra as the anti-Kuruma/Leothan hero, and carries quite a few interesting cards. We'll go into exactly what the players have in their decks in just a moment. Of course, you may check the links in the description. We've already uploaded the deck list, so you may peruse those at your leisure if you so choose, but we'll do a little bit of deck analysis after we finish seeing what 4 heroes will be brought in the game, as King of Jokes is selecting Akla, Sakoshi, to come in on the field. And his third hero will be, drumroll, Kichi, Yami, Akimo, or Hokusai.
Yep. There is no further description on King of Jokes deck. So we will have to guess a bit what the heroes that he is going to bring are going to do. Okay, there's going to be an Akimo.
Yes. Oh yes, you like to see it. With the new cards, Akima, Allure of the Tainted, Vendetta, all of those cards, Akimo, very, very useful. And I hope to see a resurgence from him in the World Qualifier that will be taking place coming shortly, actually, about 2 weeks until the start time. So get your tickets, get locked and loaded. This World Qualifier will be on the Ashen Pass, so perhaps today's game will inspire you for some deck building ideas.
Absolutely. So this is always a good chance to have a quick glance into what is possible with deck building here in Skytear, and there are huge differences between 2-lane and Ashen Pass. Absolutely.
Yes.
So you really need to build a deck that serves for the Ashen Pass tactics or for the 2-lane tactics.
Mm-hmm. So Kalibra taking a quick sweep of seeing who has been drafted, who has not been drafted. And, of course, Kumaya does have to come out here, but we will see among Neliclin, Yami, or Akla who will be the reserve, and, of course, then the target of the Deny Reinforcements victory condition. Kalibra taking a moment to think.
Mm-hmm. So he has to bring Kumaya, of course. The question might be who could be, as you said, the 4th hero. I mean,
yes,
he already picked two tanks. He picked Ishatosk and Hokusai, so there is no no hero left to be on the bench. Let's say who's able to get some damage, to eat some damage, and still survive throughout the game. So that's the big question. Because
is Yami.
You think so? As a bench hero?
Yes.
That's possible. That's totally possible.
The other two are very wait a minute. Oh, that's never mind. Okay, yeah, because the other two are very squishy. Akla has 15 HP, 0 armor, and Neliclin has 14 HP, 0 armor, which means, hold up.
That's not okay. He can't bring Kumaya as 4th hero.
Yep.
So you might inform them. Yes. So while we are resolving.
Yep, there we go. He is switching it, so Yami will be in the reserve, and Kumaya is on the field. Yes, so that is one of the rules of the required drafting. Okay, so Kalibra may choose now to switch Yami out. Oh, no, he's just pulling the piece off the field. Totally fine. All right, so Yami will be the reserve hero then for Kalibra, bringing his total lineup to Ishatosk, Hokusai, Kumaya, Yami. And now King of Jokes needs to draft his final hero, and it looks to be Hokusai in the reserve. A good choice, given that Kalibra did not bring any mages. 2 armor will take a little bit of time to pierce through. Of course, there are ways in Kalibra's deck to deal with Hokusai's armor, but if he doesn't have those ways of dealing with it, Hokusai is going to be able to tank quite a few hits. So,
Absolutely.
with that said, shall we review the player decks while they're mulliganing and setting up?
Yeah, I'm going to prepare something. Just give me a second.
Oh, surprise,
This is
surprise.
Kalibra.
Yep. Okay, Kalibra is up first.
And just a second.
Sure. Let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Let's see if it's going to switch over here. Calibra's deck. There we go. It should now be on full screen. So the
Okay.
selected heroes are Yami, Kumaya, Hogosai, and Ishatosk, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Then you
And
wanted to talk about it?
Sure. So we have 1.63 average modifier on the flips, 1.75 average mana, so a little bit low on the mana, but nevertheless. The cards that we're bringing, Barring the Way, Dance of Death, Doom, 3 copies of each of those, 2 Guides, 3 Karumo Judgment, 3 Lure of the Tainted, 3 Psychic Shield, 2 Quick Shot, 3 Rampant Hatred, 3 Release the Spirits, 2 Smelt Armor, 1 Unstoppable, 2 Topple, and 3 Vendetta. So Calibra's deck locked and loaded with offensive red cards, and the Guide cards will be very interesting to see if Guide comes out, as Guide is actually one of the cards that is on Yami. So interestingly enough,
yes,
we'll see if he uses that just as a lead option, or if he uses it to shift the control token further down the field as he starts to wreak carnage on King of Jokes' team. And now I'll turn it over to you to discuss King of Jokes' deck.
Going to switch over there. So that should be the other deck, yeah. So King of Jokes is bringing Sakoshi, Akimo, Miyuki, and Hokusai. That's providing a 1.38 average modifier, a 1.88 average mana. We see here in his deck list 2 Blazing Edges, 3 times Clear Mind, 2 Decree of Kurumo, 2 Dodges, 2 times Doom, Dragon Punch twice, Impervious twice, 3 times Kurumo's Judgment, Lifesteal twice, 3 times Lure of the Tainted, 3 times Psychic Shield, 2 Redirects, 2 Sinkholes, a Slide, 2 Unstoppable, and 3 Vendetta. So this
Violence, violence, violence.
Absolutely
I love to
violence.
see it. And speaking of violence, while we were going over the deck lists, we did run through the first activation there. King of Jokes opted to go with Miyuki, moving her into the cover hex, attacking a minion, and unfortunately flipping one of the +3 cards in the deck. You hate to see it being blown against a minion, and then ended with a lead from the deck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we now see Kalibra thinking, and oh, interesting, Kalibra actually considering marching Kumaya down the field. Not necessarily a terrible idea. Kumaya does have 1 armor, but with Akimo in the battlefield, if Akimo moves in and worships on you, that's still going to be 5 plus a double flip, assuming he doesn't play any cards, and that's still going to hurt.
Yeah, I think Akimo is a good choice for either to provide you some pressure on deny reinforcements or for bloodlust.
Absolutely, yes.
And especially with those cards in the background, like Lure of the Tainted and Vendetta.
Yes. Also, as a friendly reminder, just as a point of interest, Bloodlust and the Tamer for each player, technically speaking, is redundant in terms of the Outsider, as you must score kills while controlling the Outsider for it to count for Bloodlust. So, for example, if Kalibra gets 1 kill with the Outsider in 1 activation, next round King of Jokes wins it and then kills someone else, that's only 1 point on the Bloodlust for both of them. So, in that regard, Bloodlust Tamer would trigger simultaneously if it regards to the Outsider. But of course, Bloodlust itself is just the Tamer generalized to any hero.
Okay.
Meanwhile, a very... Nope, we haven't actually had a movement. Never mind.
Nope.
I thought we were going to do something.
No, they were just adjusting the tokens of the heroes, the hero tokens.
Yep.
Okay, so
All right,
there is a move from Hokusai. Yes.
Ooh, an aggressive forward. I thought he was going to actually...
Going to mark Miyuki, I assume.
Yes. Miyuki's the only one within range that he can target. So we're going to do 1+ piercing, put a mark on her. Now, this does mean that Akimo can move and then immediately attack Hokusai, but without the mark, unless there's a decree of Karumo, going to be 4 plus a 2 flip there, and we do see -2 HP to both of them, bringing Hokusai and Miyuki down 15 and 14 hit points, respectively. Oh, and Hokusai is going to play a quick shot. Okay, very nice. So quick shot will kill the minion immediately. That means I assume he will lead. Oh, no, he's going to skirmish into the dome. Okay, this makes more sense. This means you can now get and hide into the dome, which means that Akimo will not be able to just run up and start cutting you down.
Yeah, you could actually move, then warship, and then you're in range of Hokusai.
Indeed.
Question is he a valid target? A valuable target for King of Jokes?
Indeed. Well, he is down. He is down already 2 hit points, and again, with the mark, that would create a 5+ flip on for Akimo's attack action, as well as being within range 3 of Miyuki, which means that Hokusai would then be marked and reduced down to 1 damage and not flipping until he activates.
Yes. And you would as well be in the dome.
Yes, also that as well.
So you now would, let's say, even it out.
Yes, because right now Miyuki is winning with 1+ whatever the lead is. Minion count is equal, but Kalibra, on the other hand, does have 1-0 in the dome at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So taking a look at overall the cards that we're going to be able to see here from Jokes from Kalibra, we do have a lot of the new cards, as we mentioned when we were going through the decks. I personally would like to see Akimo last a little bit longer till we get to the mid-range game, turn 2, turn 3. If Akimo is able to pop a Lure of the Tainted while someone else is activating and they play Karumo's Judgment, you can spread out a lot of damage for Akimo right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's it might be an option for King of Jokes as he has the Skytear Flux.
Yes. All right, so Akimo, there we go. Just as you mentioned, we're going to move, we're going to worship. Mark Hokusai, move into the dome, advance 1 towards the marked target for Akimo. That leads you to an attack action because that's 5++.
Yeah, I'll bring Akimo up on the stream so that everybody can follow up. Yeah, move, worship, attack. So 5++.
Yes, Kalibra's going to pass on this, so that's going to do +1. Oh, another +3 on the flip. That's what you want to see them.
8 minus 2 is 6. Still 6.
It is. Puts him down to 9, though.
Ooh.
All right, looks like the tank is getting the spank. The final hero also able to actually attack him from outside the dome. So Sakoshi is able to move, attack Hokusai, and then do something. Skirmish into the dome?
Yeah, depending on what Kalibra is deciding right now. So that's always the question. Do you go first or do you want to go second, for example? I did miss actually the flip as I was preparing something for the stream, and I don't know who decided what.
So King of Jokes decided to bring his outsider, and then Kalibra elected to go second as a result.
Okay, interesting. So I mean, Ishatosk is always a very good option to go second.
Yes.
If you have the ability if you're able to prepare something for Ishatosk so that he can use his skill to travel around the map with a friend together with a friendly hero. So you can then just let's say crash the entire preparation or the entire turn from your opponent, like
Yes.
with just a displacement of one of your heroes. And yeah, that's always a big thing to consider.
Well, the problem is, with no Dreams of Talit nor Stone Barricades, Ishitosk is the only one capable of creating any pillars, so he's going to have to be on his own. Meanwhile, whoa, Kumaya going for the aggressive yeehaw as we're... Ooh, interesting. So we're actually going to go for the worship. We're going to whack both Akimo and Miyuki because, interestingly enough, Kumaya's worship ability, is the only one that actually can hit more than just the marked target, or indeed 2 targets who aren't even marked at all, as it whacks 2 people that are adjacent to her. So Akimo and Miyuki each getting hit for 2 damage. Of course, Miyuki does have 1 armor to absorb 1 point there, but Akimo will take 2 damage there, bringing him to 16, Miyuki to 13.
Yep.
As unfortunately, the armor reduction passive from Hokusai does not apply because it is within line of sight as opposed to within 3.
Yep. So it would only apply to Akimo, but Akimo is already without armor.
Indeed. There is, as of yet, no such thing as negative armor or bonus damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Help us all if that occurs. I can just see it now with Freyhill doing overkill damage. That's all we need in this game.
Oh, please, no. No, please, no. No.
All right.
Back to the game.
So Kumaya does end in the lane without a lead action. So currently right now, Jokes is winning the lane fights unless he did lead with a 0 mana card, which is possible, of course. With Akimo, he does have the Psychic Shields in the deck.
I mean, Ishitosk is already in line of sight of the control token, so he does count as well. So it's 4 against 3 for Kalibra without counting the lead from deck.
This is very true. So let's see what Tsukoshi decides to do here.
Yeah,
do we have a... Go ahead.
Sorry, you either want to now contest the dome more, or you want to deal more damage. That's the question now.
Indeed.
Move.
All right, well, let's see. Jokes is going to go for the move action here, depending on where he moves.
Yeah, we are going for damage.
Oh yeah.
Attack on Hokusai. There you go.
Yep.
It's
3++.
Yes. 3 double flip.
And Kalibra is thinking there may be a response. If there's a mark removal here from Kumaya from, say, Release the Spirit.
Let's see.
I feel like that's not a very effective use, but it could be.
There is Release the Spirits in a deck. Yeah, that's true. Okay, Kumaya is going to do something. We are going to see.
Hey, there it is. Release the Spirits. Okay, so we are going to actually do that. So Release the Spirits will remove the mark from Akimo, but again, the mark isn't really doing much against Akimo, so Kalibra doesn't really care about that. More importantly, removing the mark from Hokusai means that unless there's a decree coming out, which I don't believe Jokes was running, this attack now fizzles and Sakoshi's down to 1 action.
Jokes is running 2 Decree of Kurumo.
Oh, I'm wrong then. I love being wrong. So, if there's an immediate reaction here from Akimo to apply mark...
but it wouldn't help, because those heroes cannot gain conditions through the
you're right. That's great. Yep, that's
you remove all the conditions from each hero
and
hit.
ban them.
Yeah.
And ban them. Yep, that's a good point. So so this attack actually fizzles completely.
Which is nice. It keeps obviously Hokusai alive.
It does, yes. Very important, because the faster that one of your main heroes dies, the faster your target for deny reinforcements comes in, and also Bloodlust token point.
So, question. Do you want now as Sakoshi lead as well in the lane from deck? Or do you want to... Okay, there's the answer. Do you want to worship? And I assume, Kumaya is going to be marked, which is a really good decision because King has brought Miyuki.
Yes, which means that Kumaya cannot flip now.
Yes. And she's got a -1 attack, right?
Indeed. So she's down to 2 damage on the attacks. Also being marked means that Akimo is able to get the bonus action or the bonus attack damage against her with the attack action. So let's see what happens here. So looking like Kalibra will be able to win the lane, or excuse me, win the dome, and Jokes will win the lane unless Kalibra decides that he's okay with tying the dome and then brings Ishitosk forward, kills a minion, and then perhaps leads. Seems like there may be a response. Nope. Okay, looks like we're waiting for end of turn shenanigans here, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Kalibra is thinking. There we go. Perfect. A lot of thinking in Skytear. It's a very, very think-heavy game.
Yeah, I mean, Kalibra wants to defend his point there, so he wants to stay as the king of the dome, and yeah, King is totally interested in getting the title of King of the Dome. So
Yes.
you think twice or 3 times
Nice.
about what you're going to do, so why not? It's totally fair.
All right, let's see what we've got here. So Ishitosk getting ready to activate here. Final activation of the first turn. Going for the move makes perfect sense. Okay, so we're going for the dome.
So Kalibra is going to lose the lane, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, a skirmish against Akimo.
Yep. Ooh, and a +2 on the flip. All right, 2 more damage takes Akimo down to 14.
Mm-hmm. And
an attack action. Okay, that's fair. There's no reason to lead in the dome because unless you're thinking that a time warp is going to come out.
And a decree of Kurumu by Akimo. Yeah,
nice.
I was just going to say this, as we were mentioning it before. Yeah, this is a possibility to get the most use out of Miyuki's skill passive, so that Ishitosk only dealt 1 damage. He normally has a 2+ attack, and now was forced down to 1. Okay, what was happening?
Miyuki flipped a 1 on her lead, which means that it could have been an easy contest in the lane, but Kalibra decided he wanted to win the dome, which means now Jokes does carry a 4-2 minion advantage in the lane, but it's time for the big boy to come down.
Yeah, I think he's going all in for Akimo.
Sure, makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You can do 3+ the flip. You can have Hokusai take a worship action, although at this point that might be a little suicidal. Actually, I'd say you'd want to use Kumaya, because you can use Kumaya to whack Miyuki and Hokusai again with the worship action, and potentially shock blast him or something. Okay, so we are targeting Akimo with something.
That should be an attack.
1 flip should be the attack, I'm assuming so. We'll see when the token goes down to 9. Yes. Okay, so that was the attack action. There we go.
Going to put the
Next
outside
action.
screen.
Yep.
There we go. So yeah, maybe use. Yeah, he is going to use the worship.
Yep, there we go. So this is going. Ooh, and a +2 on the flip. 3 to Akimo, 2 to Miyuki now. So it puts her to 11 and Akimo down to 6. Which means with a shockwave, potentially putting Akimo in kill range here, right? As it stands right now, Akimo is, strictly speaking, in kill range for Kumaya with a couple flips. Oh no, we're shockwaving Miyuki. Okay, interesting. So we push her back and reduce the sphere of influence that she has over where that non-flipping action occurs, pushing her away and dealing 1 more damage. Very interesting.
Okay.
Nice.
So
All right.
actually only Kumaya is being influenced by Miyuki's passive.
Yep. And with that repositioning of Miyuki, it is now possible for Kumaya to reposition herself and not be influenced by the mark.
Yeah, and she could kill
While attacking
Akimo.
Akimo.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
You move inside and then... Oh, there was some blip.
We had to draw winning tokens. Eh?
Sorry, what?
I have no idea. I was just
Okay.
trying to read Jokes' message. I have no idea what he meant.
Yeah, I'm actually not using the overlay, so...
No problem.
Okay. We somehow will know what is going to happen.
This is true. Or we'll pretend like we do, because faking it is half the battle.
So they are both up to 7 cards, which
Correct?
is
Yep.
nice
Full
for
hands.
us that we are going to see a lot of cards being played, I assume.
Yes. You love to see it.
Yes, round 2. King of Jokes has the power over the Skytear Flux. So possibly, which card do you think could possibly be interesting? I can see one at least. Sinkhole,
Yes,
which
I
is
can too.
pretty obvious if you need to defend, for example, Akimo.
Yes. And unfortunately, because of the heroes brought, if there was an Eckert on the field, you could potentially cause an illusion projection to stop Kumaya. Remember that Kumaya, of course, does count now as both a Karumo hero and a Nupton hero. She does get projection benefits, which would include Smell Sniper from Satheru, bonus armor from Akuti, and movement effect nullification from Eckert. So Jokes is thinking about this. Very important to actually now at this point, because at this point Akimo is in a bit of trouble. So I know lot of this is like the biggest problem with Akimo. He does a ton of damage, but I know that it's not the case because of how Skytear math works, but it just seems like he takes more damage than other heroes. Like I know he's got 18-0, but like anytime I play Shillavi or Habarat, I don't feel like I'm taking as much damage as I do with Akima. Okay, so Miyuki's coming back into the field, saying, no, we are not doing this unless you've got more Release the Spirits. Going for a worship action on Hokusai, I would assume, as the other two are already marked.
Makes perfect sense.
Or are you just gonna mark the outsider? Which
interesting.
Would be interesting. If you're assuming that you're gonna lose the dome, mark the outsider and limit his damage to 2. Nope, we're going to mark Hokusai.
Yes.
Fair enough. So Hokusai will be movement impaired and attack damage impaired. Tragic and unfortunate. Now, that being said, Akimo is still within kill range for Hokusai, as Hokusai can attack with a skirmish action. Oh no, here it comes. It is Flux time.
What are we going to do?
Judgment! I assume it has to involve Kuruma's Judgment, and if it involves Lore of the Tainted, I am going to be really excited.
He has all those options. He has got Lore of the Tainted, he's got Kuruma's Judgment, possibly. As he's flipping the Skytear Flux with 2 mana, I assume that he's going to use something like Kuruma's Judgment.
Yes, the problem is Kalibra has 3x Doom, which means Kalibra is now playing the mind game of who do I doom, I think, because I see his hand hovering there. Yeah, someone's about to get doomed. Yes, there's the doom from Kumaya, so I assume we're going to get Miyuki with it, which means no Kurumo Judgment.
Yes, it's an action card, so you need to play it during the activation.
Yes. Which is why I think he went for hitting Miyuki with it. However, there seems to be a possible reaction. Or Kalibra is thinking of double dooming, potentially dooming. Nope. Oh no, Sakoshi's gonna slide Kumaya. Okay.
Wow.
So Doom is actually gonna get fizzled here. Jokes says no, you will not interrupt my combo as I yeet Kumaya into the dome.
There we have
There we
Slide.
go.
So Slide is
Yes.
going to resolve first.
Correct. So Slide resolves.
Yep.
Kumaya has been kicked into the dome. Doom resolves, and unfortunately, you can't target Miyuki anymore, which means it fizzles, which means now we're up to the Flux resolving.
Miyuki is going to hurt herself if she's going to play Kurumu's Judgment. Yeah, there it
Yep,
comes.
but that's okay. She does not care.
There we go.
Because in this case, it's going to be, I will take you all down with me. So this is going to deal 3 piercing damage to actually Kalibra's entire team and mark the outsider. And as you mentioned, because Kuruma's Judgment does not differentiate between ally and enemy heroes when it comes to damage, Miyuki herself will also take 3 damage.
Yep. And now we have to mark all enemy heroes, apply mark to all enemy heroes, which means the outsider is going to be or has to gain the mark condition as well.
Correct. Now, the interesting question here will be, does Kalibra use anything to remove any conditions from his team first so that they don't take any damage? No, but Hokusai is going to play the Psychic Shield, which will block the damage from Kurumo's Judgment.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's start doing some damage. Ishitosk takes damage. Kumaya takes damage. Miyuki takes damage. Miyuki, I think, needs to take damage too.
Yes.
I don't think they moved her down. She's still at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she should be down to 7, and the outsider has to be marked as well.
Yes.
So maybe you
I'll go ahead
can
and
help them
Yep,
out.
I'll
yes.
drop the mark on there. Yep. And Jokes just put in the chat, LOL, as he realized Kurumo's Judgment does not only affect enemies for the damage.
Yeah.
That was one of the unfortunate things that I discovered way back whenever this card was revealed. So be careful when calling down the Fire God's Judgment that your own team isn't marked. Otherwise, you may just deal more damage to yourself than you did to the enemy. Oops. My bad.
Yeah, it's a devastating call, right?
Yes. But ultimately, when we think about it, well, Psychic Shield notwithstanding, that would have been a trade of 9 damage for 3 damage, plus a mark on the outsider. Unfortunately, Hokusai did nullify some of the effectiveness, but net of, still more damage for Kalibra's team than it was for Jokes' team, although, you know, popping the Flux. Also, Jokes apparently in the game chat pointing out, whoops, did not realize that it worked like that. Sorry. I apologize. RG is here to ruin someone else's day with those pesky, pesky rules. All right, meanwhile, Kumaya is activating the skirmish, and aha, Kumaya is not having any of these shenanigans, so she's going to do 1 damage, bringing Akimo down to 5 HP. Now going for the worship action. Interesting that she didn't actually attack. Even with the mark, she would deal 2 damage, and then that would pretty much set up for a much higher chance of kill, although with this worship action going off here, this will deal 1+ to both Miyuki and Akimo, so that's 2 more damage. So in this case, kill range is obtainable now for Hokusai, as Akimo is down to 3.
Oh, yes. But, will he be able to win by Bloodlust with Hokusai?
Probably not Bloodlust, but I would say that it opens up the Deny Reinforcements kill, and so we can start going and trying to work on his Hokusai. But as of right now, it looks like King of Jokes might want to channel his real McCoy and run away.
I mean, you could just go all into the lane, for example.
True, we could do that.
And try to win by Nexus.
The problem is, the heroes have formed. Actually, now that I think about it, I see why you would rather do that with Kamaya, because now Akimo is kind of trapped. Akimo actually can't run away very well because there's a solid wall of heroes. So
Yeah.
I actually now like this play a little bit better. Now that I reevaluate the board state here. So looks like King of Jokes is going to activate Akimo, so he is going to get his activation off with Akimo before Akimo dies. Interestingly enough, that is going to mean that King of Jokes will be without a hero for all of turn 3.
Is there a reaction?
Is there? I don't know. No one's pinged anything. Unless there's a reaction to the activation.
Mean, Kalibra was hovering over Akimo.
Mm-hmm. And he's hovering over his hand.
Okay, what could it be?
Well, let's go ahead and inspect that discard. So, we already have one Dance of Death in the graveyard. Not that would be really relevant here. Oh, I can't really think of anything that he'd want to play looking at his card list. Right now, there's not really anything worth playing. There's no pillars out. Well, Topple is an action card, anyways. Mistaken here.
Lifesteal.
Okay. So this is going to be good. This is good for jokes now. Okay, so in this case, Akimo not going to die because this is going to deal 5 plus a flip here, or plus 2 flips, or whichever one he chooses. And this is now going to heal 6 damage because you heal based on the amount of damage that you do, not the total damage that or the total HP loss that your opponent has, which means that Akimo goes up to 9, Hokusai drops to 5. So
good
Akimo,
deal.
Yes, Akimo no longer at risk of getting nuked.
Yeah.
Very nice play by Jokes.
And he's not done yet.
He's going to skirmish targeting Hokusai. Now this one, I guess again, more lifesteal. So doesn't do any damage, but does get you 2 more HP, bringing Akimo back up to 11.
Wow. Okay, wow.
So, very nice. Akimo goes from 3 to 11. Very nice. Now a lead action as well. Will this be from the hand or from the deck? From the hand.
Yeah,
all right, very
put
nice.
Pressure. Put pressure.
Yes.
That's a good decision, I think.
I agree. Kamaya has already gone and she's committed to the lane. So now
she is leading from hand. Another slide could just finish kill the plan, let's say.
Well, the problem with that is there's no one left with mana to play slide because both Akimo and Sakoshi are out.
Oh yes, sure.
But yes, you're right. Otherwise, yeah, but slide her into the dome and kaboom, the game explodes. And we both go home very disappointed as there were 3 kill objectives and the game ended with a Nexus crash.
Yeah, that would have been disappointing.
Literally the worst resolution possible. Nobody wins. Everyone is left dissatisfied. It's like an episode of Hell's Kitchen where they screw up enough and Gordon shuts down the kitchen at the appetizers.
What?
Everyone gets... Have you never watched Hell's Kitchen? Okay, so this is a great show.
No, actually no.
Okay, so it is a great... Okay, so Hell's Kitchen is with Gordon Ramsay, who I'm sure you've heard of him. Yeah. So, and what happens is he trains 16 upcoming chefs, and they range from like just out of culinary school to executive chef level stuff. And basically it's a cooking show competition where the prize is usually a year-long position as an executive chef in one of his restaurants with a salary of $250,000. Wow. And so what they have, is a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry, not a bunch of stuff, a bunch of setups in this place that they call Hell's Kitchen. So they cook for a number of guests, and Gordon evaluates their skills in real time and see how they handle with the pressure and so on and so forth. If they screw up enough, meaning they make the food wrong and things go terribly awry, and Gordon's just like, this is a terrible service, I'm out, he will just literally shut the restaurant down without feeding people and just say, we're done.
Wow.
So like when you sign up for tickets for the show, you're told ahead of time there's a chance you might not actually get your meal if Gordon just goes off on a tangent rampage because the chefs are not making his standard and closes the kitchen early.
Wow.
It's great entertainment. Like
Yeah,
it's something special to say the least.
that's for sure. That's for sure. Are we going to see a Hell's Kitchen here as well? So is someone going to shut down the kitchen?
Wow, great segue. I mean, we've got the grill, we've got Hokusai there, although the grill's looking like it's about to go out here with only 5 more hit points.
Yeah. Uh,
Street is not in the game, so I can't make the grilled fish joke. Plus, I think we've
yes.
beaten that one to death already. We don't want to turn into Ryan. Like,
Yeah, we we've beaten that animal a lot of times.
it's true.
That fish.
Dead fish. Oh well. All right. So meanwhile, Sakoshi being the final activation for King of Jokes, but we are waiting to see what is Kalibra's plan, because obviously the original plan was we were going to assassinate Akimo. So now we're going to skirmish with Hokusai. Okay, so
Okay.
Hokusai is activating here. I think the plan is now we go and nuke Miyuki. So Hokusai goes for the worship action. This is a little bit risky because unfortunately you're going to put... Okay, so 2 damage. So Hokusai is now within kill range.
Okay, still wants to do this.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Yep, Miyuki's down to 4. So Miyuki doesn't have armor now, which means an attack would do 1 damage. So if there's a way to remove that mark, you could potentially kill Miyuki. All you would need is a +2 or a +3 on the flip.
Yes.
Kamaya still has 1 mana, but I don't think he has any Shatter Mines. No, he doesn't. He does not have any direct damage cards, which means a kill on Miyuki, very unlikely here.
The only yellow cards in Calibra's deck are Bearing the Way.
Yes, which, frankly speaking, not going to be useful here.
Yes. And the clear minds are all on Akla, which he didn't bring.
Unfortunate.
Yes.
So there's pretty much nothing barring a Release the Spirit play here, I think, that would get rid of that. And even still, you would need a... Okay, so we're just going to move? Okay, so he can move 1 because he is slowed thanks to Miyuki.
Yes.
But the nice thing is he can move back into the dome. That will mean that he can force out Sakoshi to either move or worship in order to be able to see him.
I mean, in the end, it
doesn't even matter.
What did he hit with the skirmish?
Nothing. It was a skirmish without move or without target.
Okay. But you're 3 hexes away from Miyuki. So why didn't he mark Miyuki from where he was? And instead of that, just play, I don't know, okay, a lead from whatever doesn't make sense, maybe? I don't know.
That is an excellent question and one that I don't have a good answer for.
Okay. Me neither.
Yeah, because I mean, even then, with the skirmish, like, why not hit Akimo? Like, Akimo is not shapeshifted with a Shalavi around. He's not going to revenge on you. Even if he did, you still have 2 armor. That whole sequence of plays was kind of strange to me. But maybe Kalibra was thinking of now moving anywhere outside. No, that wouldn't have been right. I can't come up with a plausible reason for that sequence of events. Maybe he just forgot about the slow.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
That's
yes.
still...
He could have moved. I don't know. He could have moved behind the outsider, maybe, to get away from Akimo.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, you can't.
Okay, so we're just going for the lane here. So now, again, 3. The 3 on the minions. You hate to see it.
Yeah, but
because that would have actually killed Hokusai with a mark.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
If that attack would have gone against Hokusai, that would have been 4 damage. But oh well. All right. So Sakoshi is actually going to lead in the lane. which means that Ishitosk has to come out. Otherwise, Kalibra just loses. Oh no, Kumaya's here. Never mind.
Kumaya's
Let's see.
there with the lead from hand, and
Yes.
yeah, as you said or mentioned
Oh
before,
no.
no mana left on Joke's side.
So
of the
Ishitosk
table.
still has to come out, assuming that they both led with a 3. Ishitosk still has to come out, or it's game over. Because if we assume that both Sakoshi and Kumaya have 3s, Kalibra is still down 5 points to Jokes' 4 minions plus additional hero,
Yeah.
which would result in tower destruction. So Ishitosk must leave the dome.
Yeah, the problem is that Jokes won't be able to block the way for Ishitosk.
Correct.
Yeah, which is a bit
So
unfortunate, but yeah.
yeah, so you can with Ishitosk you can move, you can skirmish, and then I guess you bring a pillar onto the field.
You can't. You can,
With
but
Ishitosk?
yeah, you can, but I don't know if this is going to help.
Yeah, I
Wait,
mean it's not necessarily going to help. Oh no, no, you attack a
you
minion. What am I
need.
saying? Yeah, you
Yeah,
attack a minion. Goodness,
Mhm.
duh.
You attack a minion.
Yeah. Okay, so this will allow Kalibra to survive till turn 3. This would be a very tragic point to have a safeguard. Oh no, Sakoshi's out of mana, so that's fine. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, dead minion.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
I mean, imagine if Sakoshi was able to skirmish up there where Ishitosk now is positioned and had a stone barricade. Ouch.
Ooh, yikes.
You
That
just
would be
don't.
unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been game.
Yep. All right, so Sakoshi did flip 3. Kumaya also led with a 3 as well, so that, as I said, that would have been game over. But as it stands, due to the minion kill plus Ishitosk's presence, only a little bit of tower damage here, and by a little bit, we really mean 3 points of damage. So tower's still alive. We're still good.
They need to reposition the minions.
Yep. As the minions do need to snap now. And spawn as well. So Kalibra is now in a bit of a rough spot, given that there are now 5 minions for Jokes to his 2. And he's about to lose a hero. I don't see Hokusai surviving this outsider onslaught because that mark doesn't apply to.
Was it a tie in a dome?
No, it shouldn't be because Hokusai didn't lead.
Did Akimo lead? I didn't remember.
Yes, Akimo did lead.
Okay.
Yeah,
then...
Akimo led with Dragon Punch, so it was 4-1.
Okay, so okay, the outsider.
Yep.
Is
okay, attacks
no
Hokusai.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's going to be 4 damage minus 2 armor. Okay, so Shockwave kills with a plus anything kills.
It's piercing.
Correct. Unfortunately, there are no heroes that you could get for a worship action that would help this, but nevertheless. And there's the plus 3. Shockwave. Okay. Goodbye, Hokusai. Play that funeral gif, my man. It took us far too long. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Excellent.
You're welcome. Yeah, we still need the sound.
Yeah. All right, so that is 1 point on Bloodlust, 1 point on Tamer. So finally, we get a little bit of violence. And unfortunately now, Kalibra does not get a hero next turn either, which means I'm pretty sure that King of Jokes just kind of runs him over at this point. Because there's an overwhelming minion presence. You have a hero advantage. It's not looking good. Now, Kumaya might be able to take out Miyuki and make that 2-2, but the minion presence still very overwhelming. Also, while we're at this, we do see Outsider's skill number 1.
Yes.
Forcing a target-friendly hero to take action. Looks like we're going to mark and slow Ishitosk. Keep him locked up right there.
Okay, wait. Ah, no. You're not going to mark and slow. You're going to use Sakoshi's ability. So
Oh, it's
he's,
Sakoshi's. I'm sorry.
yeah. So
Yes.
he's going to flip against the minion edges into Ishatosk,
Yes.
which is
Yep.
really a big pressure now against Kalibra.
Yes. I was trying to figure out why he was
Yes.
using Miyuki's worship skill on Ishitosk when Kumaya was the one with the kill threat, and then I'm like, oh, because we're using Sakoshi to kill the minion. That makes much more sense. All right. So we are on turn number 3 here, and again, Jokes gets to go first here, which means he can also, with Miyuki, worship Kumaya, and then just run away. Like that is actually an option. Just run Miyuki down into the corner above the cover hex so that she influences control token 1, and Kumaya cannot chase her.
Oh, yes.
Ishitosk can't play Release the Spirits. Kumaya can't use a Release the Spirits on herself. So run away. Run away if you want to survive.
And you want to, for
You
sure.
do. Okay, so we're going with the move action. Okay, yeah. So now you would mark Kumaya and then skirmish. Makes total sense.
Oh,
Or
on
you
a
just
minion.
attack a minion. Okay. Maybe, I guess now you just worship Kumaya? Or you can skirmish, I guess, down to the corner.
Get
But
the... No,
do.
elite.
Ooh. So he's already flipped Caged Soul. So you can't
Elite
bait
from hand. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay. He is confident that he's going to use a sinkhole. So if Komaya is going to move somehow,
Yes.
then he's going to use a sinkhole, either with Akimo or Sakoshi.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to happen.
Yes,
So
because
he's pretty confident that Miyuki can stay in the open field and lead from hand.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only one sinkhole in the graveyard for Jokes, so likely among his 6 cards in hand, one of them is a sinkhole. And as you said, with either Sakoshi or Akimo, based on where they're positioned, they will be able to safely sinkhole Madame Miyuki to safety from the vengeful Kumaya.
Yep. Would you be so kind and remove the mark condition from the outsider?
Yes.
Thanks. Okay, who's going to attack? Kumaya is declaring the move, and
so here's where that sinkhole comes.
You now need the sinkhole. You need the sinkhole. There we go.
There it is.
As predicted.
Akimo.
Bam.
Get over here.
Yeah.
And so that sinkhole, we're going to drag Kumaya.
It's always like, I'm going to move. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Nope. Let me think about it.
You know what would have been good here? Actually, no, it wouldn't matter because you'd still been trapped in the sinkhole's effect anyways. I was going to say Ekrit's Illusion would have been fun here, but the problem is ultimately you're still trapped.
Yeah, you're still trapped, yes. I assume that, yeah, Akimo can only target a hex inside the dome. So Komaya at maximum could move outside into the lane. She is outside of the control token, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah, outside.
Also very important is keeping Kumaya away from being able to run back into the control point.
Wow.
Because now this means that Jokes can have at max 4. Since he did not bring presence with Ishitosk, the most points that Jokes will have to face down from Kalibra, 4 on the control zone. So as long as Jokes gets, what would that be, 6? It's game over.
7, he's at 3, 5, 7 now actually with all the miniatures. He's at 7 points plus 3 probably, that's 10.
Yeah,
10
so
against
this
the
is
maximum
pretty much...
Yeah.
Yeah, so this...
Lure
Oh,
the
Kamaya's going for a
Tainted.
Lure the Tainted, okay. Okay, you love to see it. I'm not sure that this is going to do a whole lot. Well, actually, this might kill Miyuki.
Oh.
If you get a decent enough flip, this will kill Miyuki. You need a +2 on the flip.
Yeah, Miyuki's down to 4. Yeah, you just let the card resolve, and then you're going to mark. You're going to worship and mark Miyuki. X is the caster's attack value, so yeah, you need. What did you say? A +2 flip, right?
Sure. Yeah, because Miyuki has 1 armor, and so Kumaya will do 3+.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There's the worship.
Okay, we'll wait to see what happens here.
Let me have a look at
Miyuki is marked. Show me big damage.
Going to flip. A 3.
Oh, there it is. There's the big
Boom.
damage. You love to see it as Miyuki gets Miyikid. Okay, that didn't work. Failed. Oh well.
Okay, another
Sometimes.
funeral. There you
Dun
go.
dun dun dun. All right, so Miyuki now out of the battle here. Unfortunately, Kalibra still not out of the danger zone yet. As Sakoshi is still going to be able to overwhelm with the minion counter here. This is where something like Kotlik's ultimate would come in handy. But, if you do have From Below, did we see From Below? I don't think so. If there's From Below, then that would actually be a way out for Kalibra here.
You need to pillar first.
So that's fine. We worship to summon the pillar.
Okay, last action was a skirmish. No target.
Correct, yeah. Kumaya running into the dome. Since she can't influence Control Zone 1, might as well jump into Control Zone 3. Also worth noting that Akimo did use his ultimate Jokes used Akimo's ultimate as a lead last round, so does not need to worry. Well, also you don't need to worry about it because Akimo already spent his mana, which is slightly more important of a factor. But demonic possession not available, so Akimo cannot 14-0 Kumaya here.
True. So that's not an option.
No.
Question is, will Jokes then force more the lane, or what do you think? Does he try to kill Kumaya? I don't know. I think you go more for the lane, maybe.
Yeah. At this point, as much as it pains me to say that, for Jokes, the easy way here is just keep the pressure on the lane because Kalibra has to respond.
Okay, Sakoshi.
So Sakoshi will activate. Oh, and Sakoshi knew. Oh, he knew about the idea of the From Below. So From Below is an action card by dooming Kalibra with a lead action here. That pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So that pretty much seals Kalibra's fate at this point.
Okay.
You can kill a minion. You don't have any cards to play. You can get at best a 4 worship. So all we have to do is move Akimo into the dome's influence, and it's game over.
Okay, Sakoshi did attack Ishatosk, who's now down to 11 HP. He's marked. Leading from hand, I assume.
Almost certainly, yeah. If you have a 3 at this point, yeah, you just burn the 3, because now you get to move Akimo. Well, I guess technically you get to move Ishatosk first as Kalibra, but also with the
Ishatosk activating, I think. Attacking a minion. Leading
and the
from
lead action.
hand, I assume.
And I guess the last thing is a worship. Nope, going for the skirmish. Because, hey, why not?
Yeah.
+2.
Okay.
So, assuming that Sakoshi leads with a 3, this is game over.
4, 5. As
you need 2
Akim
points.
can, yeah.
Yep, and Kalibra saying,
Yeah,
yep,
I
that's
think
it.
I
Power
think that's it.
destruction. Good game. All right, so we had some violence, but once again, we had a Nexus win when there were 3 aggro cards.
I'm so sorry for you, but that's a game. So we are going to join the players. Okay.
Let's go and commiserate about this.
Hello there.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Should we go to the streamer booth to
No,
listen?
we are
Or-
with
Yeah,
you
we're
now.
good.
Yeah. GG.
Good game, gents.
GG.
That was fun.
Good game.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't see that Kurumo judgment is also too friendly one, but it's okay. Just
Yeah. A lot of people don't see that until they play it, and their opponent's like,
Yeah.
that affects everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I don't play Kurumo so much, but
See, that's the
Especially
problem.
not
You
in
need
the
to
other-
convert you to the red team.
yeah. Actually, it's crazy the fact that Lure Tainted, right, has no target. So
Yeah.
I had the two redirecting it. But that play on Miyuki was I cannot counter that.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever you pop the flex,
With,
we figured that the judgment was coming, which is why when we saw the Doom, we're
Yeah,
like, you hate to see it.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I knew that he has Doom because Doom is one of the best cards. And
True.
I had the slide in hand to counterplay, but Psychic Shield is good. But it's okay. It's okay. It was a fun game. I think Inashi and Kurumo are very good.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, I will.
at least no problem. At least we saw 2 dead heroes. And we saw the use of the new cards from the breach.
Okay, I'm
this-
changing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with my phone actually right now.
This is
So-
much better, yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I okay. No, Kuruma are great actually in Ashen Pass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So once I was afraid because I knew that he has many 3 mana cards, good 3 mana cards in deck because Kurumo Judgment, Unstoppable, Supernova. I was afraid also. Didn't see if he flipped the Kumaya's ultimate,
Mm-hmm.
and but if you pressure a full Kurumo deck turn 1. There was Ixatosk, but he had to respond to my push, and actually was unlucky that he couldn't draft Yami with Ixatosk,
Mm-hmm.
and without Yami in Ashen, Ixatosk lose lots of power. But yeah. So much armor. But I had my core cards in these heroes, and I couldn't take Kichi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Kalibra, your point of view on the game?
Well, it was fun to play as always. I enjoy playing with King of Jokes, and also what I try to do here, I try to squeeze Kumaya into my deck. So I remove the Kimu and I place Kumaya, and that's it. And then suddenly it was a completely different world for me. And also Yami, I did some modifications because I knew I would play against King, so I brought some bearing the way because you just do that when you play King of Jokes.
Yes.
Makes sense.
That's what you have, right? So and then suddenly, okay, maybe bringing Kumaya, I should change a bit my whole composition, because actually I thought I think that Kumaya was the best hero in this game. She played alone. She worshipped like very well, and she did everything by herself. And then the other guys were there just to die and to make bad decisions, right? Because I killed my Hogosai, and also Ishatos didn't place a pillar the whole game, so that was a mess.
Mhm.
Anyway, and of course, King of Jokes was like playing like every good decision along the way, and it was like snowballing to a defeat. I should have led and attacked a minion with Ishatos on turn 1, I guess, and then
Yes.
I should have
Yeah.
forgot like let the outsider for turn 2 or something like that.
Mhm.
But I at that moment I said, "All right, King of Jokes, like people want to see the blood, right? Let's put up a show." And then I
Yeah.
I went for a chemo in the dome. So maybe it would be a different game, not easier for me, I guess. It would be still hard to win, and I guess I wouldn't be able to win this game anyway. But maybe that play was like the most important play that I missed.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
So
and I went for the blood.
turn 1.
But that's my like analysis of the whole thing,
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
and
Yeah.
it was fun.
Thank you for the game. Yeah, me too. Indeed, my choice. I won the coin toss, and once I saw the Scourge, my plan was just to pressure turn 1, even if I have a full aggro deck. But if I manage
Sure.
to pressure, then I can spend the whole turn to try to kill and attack his heroes. And I choose to the outsider, because if he managed to take the Scourge turn 1, he just one shot one of my heroes. Yeah, it's very fun for the stream, but I choose mine. Yeah.
Actually,
Hey,
that's
listen.
why. That's sorry. Just a little note. That's why I play the Scourge of Puido, because of the mind game.
Yeah.
Because what happens before the game starts? Oh, he has a Scourge. Okay, so I should play
yes.
around it.
Oh yes.
So it's fun. It's fun to do that.
That
But
worked.
RG, you're about to say something. Sorry, man.
No. I was actually gonna say something very similar to you. So works for me. Yeah, the Scourge just creates such wonderful mind games because few people have experience with it. So whenever you bring it, it's like, oh god, I have to take my outsider if I win the coin toss.
Yeah.
And
It
yes,
is too
and I love-
dangerous.
And also, you have to play, unless you like to play aggro and you are really like comfortable with dome fights. When you have Scourge,
Violence.
yes, when you have Scourge on the battlefield, like if you play control and you push lanes, you're out of your comfort zone, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So it messes with control, I guess. Scourge messes with control even before the game starts, in my opinion.
Well,
So that's
speaking
why
of
I do.
control, King of Jokes, your next week's opponent is the man who propagates control like no other, Eric.
Ooh.
Eric?
Yes.
On to lane 2. Oh my god,
Yes.
prepare
On
for a
Tulane, yes.
On
So-
4
Tulane.
hours long stream. Okay.
So we will need some ideas for the heroes. Of course, do remember that King did unfortunately suffer a casualty in Miyuki, so Miyuki is
oh my
off the
god,
table.
Yes.
No,
And
so
that's
sad.
a very important hero, I think,
Yes.
to even get some kills in. Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kalibra.
To be fair, don't worry, King, because I don't think I've ever seen Eric attack a hero on streams. Like, you know,
yeah, but
no big loss.
Yeah, but maybe he will joke me, and he will play full Kurumo and win on slot turn 1.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, and then there may also be the day where I would draft Kenwi and build an entire team about her. It's
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
It's not very likely.
Yes, good one. Yes,
But RG, this could only happen if you were the king of the dome and had to bring Kinui.
So here's the thing. I have a match where I'm going to play eventually. I wasn't able to line up during any of the summer because like my summer schedule is really weird and I can't really commit to anything for like more than 2 weeks in a row or whatever. If I win my challenger match, I'm just going to immediately resign, and then we're going to have 2 new people playing because I am not doing that. I refuse to give Corrido and Bearcat and the rest of the community that level of satisfaction.
You know, RG, I'm also really fine with this match because I beat Ricardo last week. I could end my career on Skytear. It's fine.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
This is
I'll
true.
just, like, okay, I did that. Achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
You took out the Neri, like, where else do you go from here?
And you
Well-
won in a glorious way with the meteor of Kurumo.
Yes.
Yes,
Casted
yes,
by
that was
Yami,
beautiful.
That was
Yeah,
that was very glorious.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Any
So-
final thoughts then before we get ready to wrap up?
go
Yep.
Taulot.
Yes, please
Go
go
Talos.
Talos.
Go Talit, says the guy who brought 4 red heroes.
Yes.
I see a
Yes.
small discrepancy.
Yes. I have to pray the Xotlan Gog
We need to talk about this after
to
the
redeem
stream.
myself. Yeah.
Shame.
Shame on me.
Ding ding ding.
I just want to say, like, guys, thanks for the streaming, thanks for watching, and King, thanks for the game.
Thank
Yes,
you,
good
Kat.
game.
As
It was
always.
pleasure to
you.
cast and always fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys. Bye.
See you around.
All right, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Tune in next week as we will see whether or not the Italian Stallion King of Jokes can defend against Eric as we're back on 2-lane. Let us know which hero you want Force Jokes to take. Keep in mind, Miyuki is banned for him. Thank you for joining us and have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.